The other day, I was heading out to work on a goal. I had planned everything out. I had the most bespoke plan, and I was just heading out to do it, and something just stopped me. Something didn't feel right, and I just found myself hesitating as I started to take steps towards my goal. So, if this has ever happened to you, then this is the video for you. I'm going to talk about the dynamic of how we sometimes get in our own way and what we can do to sort of negotiate with ourselves to get the kind of movement that we'd like. What this involves is that sometimes there's a part of us that is completely excited about the goal or vision that we've set for ourselves, and yet there's another part that has a different plan. Maybe there's a part of you that really wants to get in shape, and another part of you that just wants to hang out. Or perhaps there's a part of you that really wants to move your career forward, but another part of you that doesn't want to get out and connect with people or take the steps necessary to get work. So when that happens, first of all, how can we recognize it? And secondly, what can we do about it? Um, in terms of how do we recognize it, typically what I look for is if I make a really good plan and I think, okay, this makes sense, I have a great goal, it's something I'm excited about, but I find myself starting to hesitate, or if I notice any internal tension, which may show up in terms of certain body sensations or hesitation, then I start to have a suspicion, okay, there may be another part of me that isn't on board yet with the agenda that I've set. And so I'll notice like there's a difference in my body between when I'm all systems go and I'm just moving and I'm in the flow. Very often I'll enter a flow state versus when I have hesitation or when I feel divided on something. In NLP, we call this being incongruent. There's part of you that wants something and part of you that doesn't. So again, the first thing I look for is what are the body sensations? Usually it shows up in the body. Sometimes it can be that I head out, but then I get a picture of things not going well. That can be another indication of another part of you that has a concern. So now that we have some ways of recognizing when this is happening, the next thing you want to do is begin to get in touch with that part of yourself and really get curious, as if you were talking to a friend and you noticed your friend was hesitating about something. So if I had a friend that was hesitating, I might say, hey, tell me a little bit about what's going on with you and what's your concern and what is it that you want? I mean, the first thing I want to check is, does this other part of me actually want the same goal? Because sometimes that another part of us may want the goal, but has concerns about it. There may be concerns about safety, about public exposure. Um, but I want to check: is this part of me at least aligned with the goal? Now, if the part is aligned with the goal, then I want to address: okay, what are the objections? What are the concerns? And is there another approach that I could use to take care of safety, to take care of any social interaction, or it could be a concern, it could be a financial concern. Maybe you want to take a class, but you hesitate, and there could be a financial concern. Can I afford this right now? Something like that. So that's the case where the part of me is aligned with the goal, but not quite aligned with the approach. And in that circumstance, I want to massage my approach until both aspects of myself are congruent about the goal and the approach. Now, if that part of me is not aligned with the goal, then I want to get curious about, well, what does this part want? What are things that it's interested in? Because if I can start to align my goal that I've set for myself with some goal that this inner part has, then again, that might build a bridge where I can congruently move forward. And it's amazing when you get one of these other parts in alignment that's been out of alignment, all of a sudden you'll feel this freedom of energy, freedom of movement that allows you to move forward really easily. So again, we want to check two things. The first thing is the goal something that both parts are aligned with? And is the approach to getting the goal something that both parts are aligned with? And again, if there's not an alignment at the level of goal, then you want to get curious. You want to discover what's a goal that this other part has, and how can we get these two outcomes to work together? Very often, the way you do that is to look for what's the outcome on the other side of that outcome. In other words, if this part was able to achieve what it wants, what would that allow it to experience? It's even more important. And if you can find alignment at that upper level, then again, that will bring alignment to the whole system. That method of negotiation and aligning at a higher level is very famous in the book Getting to Yes. I highly recommend that book. It's a fantastic book on some of the fundamentals of negotiation and alignment. So again, just a quick recap. The first thing I do to know that I'm experiencing a lack of alignment is first just noticing any hesitation in my behavior. Second, I look for any uh, uneasiness in my body, any hesitation, any uncomfortable feelings coming up, or any imagery that I may be showing myself, about concerns. And then I look for alignment on the goal and alignment on the execution, the plan to reach the goal. And once those things are in place, it's like you're off to the races. So it may seem like it takes a lot of time to iron these things out, but I guarantee that if you experiment with doing this and you get good at this skill of kind of inner negotiation, it will speed up your productivity and will really unleash amounts of energy that I think you'll be amazed and pleased with. So I encourage you to check that out, and I also will link another video on a similar topic of inner negotiation.